Welcome to Mysteries and Crime, the channel where we delve into the shadows of humanity's darkest secrets and the spine-chilling truths that eventually come to light. Tonight, we unravel 30 of the most unsettling mysteries that haunted investigators for decades until they were finally solved. Now, turn down the lights, lock your doors, and let's begin. Case 1. The Zodiac Killer Cipher, 2020. It haunted investigators for over 5 decades. The unsolvable cipher of one of America's most notorious serial killers, the Zodiac. In November of 1969, the killer sent the Z-340 cipher to the San Francisco Chronicle. Experts tried and failed for more than 50 years, until December of 2020. 3 private citizens, David Oranchak, Jarl Van Eyck, and Sam Blake, finally cracked the code. The decrypted message sent chills down the collective spine of the public. I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber, because it will send me to paradise sooner. The Zodiac's true identity remains unknown, and 2 of his ciphers remain unsolved. For now. Case 2. The Long Island Serial Killer, 2023. For more than 30 years, 11 bodies lay buried beneath the sands of Gilgo Beach, Long Island. Investigators suspected a single killer, a shadowy figure dubbed the Long Island Serial Killer. In the summer of 2023, a break came. DNA found on a discarded pizza crust matched the killer's genetic profile and led police to Rex Andrew Hoyerman, a 59-year-old architect with a dark past. Hoyerman was charged with multiple counts of murder and pleaded not guilty. As the investigation unfolds, we are left wondering, how many more secrets lie beneath the sands of Long Island? Case 3. The Burial Place of Richard III, 2012. The fate of England's infamous king, Richard III, remained a mystery for nearly 500 years, until 2012. Historians believed Richard was buried at the Grey Friars Church after his death at the Battle of Bosworth in 1485, but the church was demolished, and the king seemingly vanished. Then, beneath a Leicester parking lot, archaeologists found human remains. DNA testing confirmed the skeleton was indeed Richard III. His spine was curved by scoliosis, and battle wounds marred the bones. The last Plantagenet king was finally laid to rest in 2015 with proper royal honors. Case 4, the case of Margie Jelovich, 2014. In September of 1997, Margie Jelovich vanished from her Indiana home without a trace. Her asthma inhaler, her car, her life left behind. 17 years later, in October of 2014, she was found, living in Mexico with biker gang member Randy Jurger. Tragically, Margie died during a high-speed police chase. A mystery solved, but a life forever lost. Case 5. The Disappearance of Stardust, 1947, found in 1998. A missing aircraft, an eerie Morse code message, and 5 decades of unanswered questions. On August 2, 1947, the British South American Airways plane named Stardust vanished en route to Chile. Its final transmission, one word, Stendek. For decades, conspiracy theories flourished. Alien abduction, military cover-up. In 1998, mountaineers found the wreckage buried in an Andean glacier. The plane had crashed due to navigational error, and the mysterious word Stendek was likely a distorted transmission of descent, repeated multiple times. The glacier preserved the truth until it was ready to tell it. Case 6. Monica Bonilla's disappearance, 1982, found in the 1990s. On September 22, 1982, 8-year-old Monica Bonilla vanished from her Indiana home. Her mother returned to find the house empty. Years later, Unsolved Mysteries featured the case of a missing child named Nylene Marshall. A teacher recognized the girl as her former student, Mary Kelly. But DNA tests revealed the truth. It was Monica. She had been abducted by her father and taken to Mexico. Monica was reunited with her mother, thanks to the power of television and a community that refused to forget. Case 7. The Mary Celeste Ghost Ship, 1872. A ship found adrift, with no sign of its crew. The Mary Celeste sailed into infamy on December 4th, 1872, when it was discovered off the Azores Islands. The crew had abandoned the ship, though cargo and supplies remained untouched. Theories ranged from sea monsters to pirate attacks. Modern research suggests a more mundane, yet equally chilling explanation. The ship carried industrial alcohol that likely leaked, creating explosive fumes. Captain Briggs likely ordered an emergency evacuation. But the crew's lifeboat was never recovered. The Atlantic swallowed the truth. Case 8. The Freeman Arson Case, 1999. Solved in 2018. December 30th, 1999. A fire reduced the Freeman family's Oklahoma home to ash. Danny and Kathy Freeman were found dead, shot execution style. Their teenage daughter Ashley and her friend, Loria Bible, had vanished. Nearly 20 years later, in 2018, Ronnie Busick was arrested. Witnesses revealed that Busick and 2 accomplices, both deceased, had kidnapped the girls, killed them, and burned the evidence. Busick received a 10-year sentence, serving just 38 months. The case closed, but justice left unfulfilled. Case 9. The second Zodiac Killer Cipher, Z340, 2020. I am not afraid of death. It will send me to paradise sooner. The Zodiac's Z340 cipher revealed more than just cryptic words. It exposed the killer's fascination with death. Cracked in 2020, the cipher confirmed what investigators suspected all along. The Zodiac craved attention and chaos. 2 more ciphers remain unsolved. The question lingers: who was the Zodiac? Case 10. The Lost Roanoke Colony, 1587. In 1587, John White left Roanoke Island to fetch supplies. He returned 3 years later to an empty colony, the word Croatoan carved into a wooden post. For centuries, historians puzzled over the settlers' fate. In the 21st century, DNA testing indicated that the colonists likely integrated with the Croatoan tribe, abandoning their doomed settlement for survival. The lost colony was never truly lost. Case 11. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. A group of 9 experienced hikers set out on a trek through the Ural Mountains in February of 1959 and never returned. Rescuers found their tent torn from the inside. The bodies were scattered across the snow, some with traumatic injuries, others in a state of undress. Theories of paranormal forces and secret military tests swirled for decades. In 2020, researchers using modern avalanche simulation techniques concluded that a small slab avalanche likely forced the hikers to flee into the sub-zero night. Hypothermia, combined with impact injuries from compacted snow, proved fatal. A simple natural event, misunderstood for decades. Case 12. The Fate of the Franklin Expedition, 1845. In 1845, Sir John Franklin and his crew of 129 men sailed to find the Northwest Passage and disappeared. For years, search teams found only abandoned campsites and scattered bones. Then, in 2014, sonar technology located the wreck of HMS Erebus beneath Arctic waters. 2 years later, HMS Terror was found nearby. Autopsies of recovered remains revealed scurvy, lead poisoning, and starvation had doomed the expedition. What was once an epic mystery became a sobering tale of human endurance and the limits of early exploration. Case 13. The Identity of the Somerton Man, 2022. December 1st, 1948. A man's body was discovered on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. He had no identification, no cause of death, only a scrap of paper in his pocket reading, Tamam Shud. It is finished in Persian. For 74 years, the mystery endured, until 2022, when genetic genealogy traced the man to Carl Webb, a Melbourne engineer with no known ties to espionage. The cause of death remains uncertain, but the mystery of his identity is, at last, solved. Case 14. The Bloop Mystery, 1997. In 1997, underwater monitoring stations picked up an unusual sound, so loud it was detected over 3,000 miles away. Dubbed the bloop, the noise sparked speculation of colossal sea creatures lurking in the depths. But scientists eventually identified the sound as an ice quake, caused by massive icebergs cracking in the Southern Ocean. The terrifying leviathans never existed, but the ocean remains vast and largely unexplored. Case 15. Anastasia Romanov's Fate, 1918. When the Russian Imperial Romanov family was executed in July of 1918, rumors persisted that Grand Duchess Anastasia survived. Imposters surfaced for decades, most famously Anna Anderson. In 1991, the Romanovs' burial site was found. Anastasia's remains, however, were missing. In 2007, a second grave was discovered, and DNA confirmed Anastasia's body lay among the others. A fairy tale of survival, shattered by forensic science. Case 16. The Lady Be Good Bomber, 1943, found in 1958. In April of 1943, the bomber Lady Be Good vanished returning from a mission over Naples. The crew, gone. 15 years later, oil explorers stumbled upon the plane in the Libyan desert. The crew had parachuted out, mistaking the desert for the sea. Rescue attempts failed when the plane's distress signals were misinterpreted. The men had walked for days before succumbing to thirst, and the desert kept its secret until the 1950s. Case 17. The Sailing Stones of Death Valley. In California's Death Valley, massive rocks leave trails behind them, as though pushed by invisible hands. For decades, scientists were baffled. Finally, in 2014, time-lapse cameras captured the stones sliding across the desert floor atop thin layers of ice. The mysterious tracks were formed as ice sheets melted and winds pushed the stones. What appeared supernatural was simply physics at work. Case 18. The Murder of Jun Lin, 2012. In May of 2012, a disturbing video titled "One Lunatic, One Ice Pick" surfaced online. It depicted the murder of Jun Lin, a Chinese student living in Canada. Police traced the video to Luca Magnotta, who fled to Europe. An international manhunt ended when he was arrested in Berlin, while reading news about himself at an internet cafe. Magnotta was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. An internet myth turned into a real-life horror. Case 19. The Face on Mars, 1976. In July of 1976, NASA's Viking 1 orbiter photographed a formation on Mars that resembled a human face. The image sparked conspiracy theories of ancient Martian civilizations, but newer, higher-resolution images captured in the 2000s revealed the truth. It was merely a mesa, with shadows playing tricks on human perception. The face on Mars, nothing more than rocks and imagination. Case 20. The construction of the pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as one of humanity's greatest engineering feats. For centuries, theories of alien intervention abounded, but archaeologists discovered ancient records and ramps near the pyramids. In 2014, research revealed that Egyptian workers likely used water to reduce friction while dragging stones across the desert. An extraordinary achievement made possible by human ingenuity. Case 21. The Tunguska Explosion, 1908. On June 30th, 1908, a mysterious blast leveled 800 square miles of Siberian forest. Scientists debated its cause for decades. The answer? A meteor exploded in midair, releasing energy equivalent to 1,000 atomic bombs. A cosmic event that left the Earth trembling. Case 22. The Death of Baby Ryan Stallings, 1990. In 1990, Patricia Stallings was convicted of poisoning her infant son, Ryan. But later, tests revealed Ryan had methylmalonic acidemia, a rare disorder that mimics antifreeze poisoning symptoms. Patricia was released after serving nearly 2 years in prison, a tragedy born of a medical mystery. Case 23. The Stonehenge Quarry Discovery, 2019. For centuries, the source of Stonehenge's massive sarsen stones was unknown. In 2019, geochemical testing traced the stones to West Woods, 15 miles away. The ancient builders' methods remain mysterious, but their stones' origins are finally known. Case 24. The Centennial Olympic Park Bombing, 1996. During the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, a bomb killed 2 and injured 111 people. Security guard Richard Jewell was wrongly accused, while the real bomber, Eric Rudolph, hid in the Appalachian wilderness for 5 years. He was arrested in 2003 and sentenced to life in prison. A nation's nightmare finally ended. Case 25. The Murder of Jamal Khashoggi, 2018. In October of 2018, journalist Jamal Khashoggi entered the Saudi consulate in Istanbul and never came out. Turkish investigators found evidence of a premeditated murder. International reports implicated Saudi operatives and pointed to high-level officials. Justice remains elusive, but the crime's orchestration is no longer a mystery. Case 26. The Golden State Killer, 2018. The Golden State Killer terrorized California during the 1970s and 80s. In 2018, detectives used a genealogy database to identify Joseph DeAngelo as the suspect. DeAngelo was convicted of 13 murders and 50 rapes. His reign of terror ended by 21st century science. Case 27. The Collapse of the Maya Civilization. For centuries, the collapse of the Maya civilization baffled historians. Modern climate studies revealed that a prolonged drought, worsened by deforestation, crippled the empire's agricultural systems. The ancient cities were abandoned, victims of environmental change. Case 28. The Vampire Clan Murders. 1996. In 1996, Rod Ferrell claimed to be a 500-year-old vampire. His cult killed Richard and Ruth Wendorf in Florida. Ferrell was sentenced to death, later reduced to life without parole. A gothic fantasy turned to real-life horror. Case 29. The Paulding Light Mystery, Michigan. A glowing orb appeared nightly in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, sparking ghostly tales. In 2010, engineering students solved the mystery. The light came from headlights on a nearby highway, a folklore phenomenon debunked by science. Case 30. Pierre April's Amnesia, 1992. In 1992, Pierre April was found wandering San Diego with no memory of who he was. The case aired on Unsolved Mysteries, and a former colleague recognized him. Reunited with his family, April slowly regained his identity. A lost life restored. And so, we close the casebook on these unsettling mysteries. From ancient kings rediscovered in parking lots, to cryptic killers unmasked through modern technology, the truth has a way of surfacing, even after decades of darkness. Thank you for joining us on Mysteries and Crime. Remember, the past never truly stays buried. Keep questioning, keep investigating, and until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, stay safe.